What's up, guys? I'm J-Dubb, and today I want to talk to you about some things. I see this all the time online. I answer it all the time, and it's about the linked repeaters. And it's people saying, I hate them, I can't stand them, there's no use for it out there. I've got a use for you. We've got 3 repeaters in my area. There's no one area, no one mountaintop you could put a repeater on and cover the whole county. There's no way. We've got a lake that is very popular that actually spans 2 counties, but it's mostly in 1 county. We have a state park, which once again spans 2 counties, and then we have a city area, which behind that is a large recreational area for Jeeps, off-road motorcycles, stuff like that, dirt bikes. What else do we have? The county I live in is 51% national forest. So there is a ton of hunting land around us that is open to the public. That being said, there is not a lot of cell service. The city has cell service. The lake I was referring to has no cell service. The state park I was referring to has no cell service. These hunting areas, some of them have cell service. The one right by my house has none. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, if you weren't using Chinese repeaters, that's a moot point for one. And 2, even the really nice ham repeaters, the state police, the county's police, the city's fire and rescue, the county's fire and rescue, and the city's police, all of them have to use link repeaters because they can't cover the whole county. And if you ask our county police officers and if you ask the state police, they'll tell you the same thing. There's a lot of areas out there in our county that you are on your own because your radio will not work. The TAC channels might work depending on where you're at, but your main channel, that's it. It's done. Unless you can get to a high point, there's a lot of places that it just does not work. So G.M.R.S falls under the same principle. We have this exact same issue. That being said, we have 3 repeaters now. We have one that covers the state park, we have one that covers the city, and we have one that we're getting ready to put up at the lake. I'm hoping to bring y'all guys along with me. Still working out some logistics with the Forest Service on that. They've offered us a location. We're going to get in touch with them and figure out everything. Hopefully get that one put up here soon, and then they'll all 3 be linked together. Now I know you're saying, why do I need, why would someone at the state park need to talk to someone at the lake? Well, that one, there's not really a big option for that. But there is people that camp at the state park and at the lake that can't call someone in town. So let's say, mom runs to town to grab, let's say, I don't know, s'mores stuff. But she thinks that they already have marshmallows in the camper. Nope, can't find the marshmallows. We need marshmallows. Well, it's about a 30-minute drive into town from either location. You're looking at about a good 30-minute drive. So mom's going to get all the way into town, get all of her stuff at the store, come back, look at everybody and say, didn't have marshmallows. Now we have to go back out. Or we just go without marshmallows, which is the more likely option that's going to happen. Can't have that. Everybody needs a good s'more in their life. So, where this comes in the repeater at the, we'll choose the state park, that repeater won't reach the town. That stinks. And there's no mountain really to put it on that it would reach the town. So, to mitigate this, we have the repeater at the state park linked to the internet. We have the repeater covering the town linked to the internet, and we have the repeater at the lake linked to the internet. So when you key up one, all 3 keys up. The nice thing about that is now you can key up the one at the lake or at the state park, the one in town will key up, and now you can talk back and forth. You can get your marshmallows or whatever else you needed. Now, that was a silly example. It was supposed to be comical, but it has some legitimate side of it too. Alright guys, so I brought you down here to my little whiteboard so I can kind of show you this and give you like a rough visual. Alright, so here you go. This is kind of my rough visual. We're going to use this black marker here. So mountains, 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 and mountains. All the little squiggles are mountains. This is our state park, this is our lake, and this is our city. And actually there's another little small city right here. So there you go. This repeater at the state park, it covers basically this whole valley. You gotta remember, everything in my area is in a valley, so it's about where you're covering it. Now you got this one right here that is at the lake. And this one covers this whole part of the valley, and it does a little bit on this side of the mountain too, but then you run into these mountains. Well, that stinks. That's why we've got one over here in the city that does basically this whole side of the city, all this, kind of shoots down the interstate and goes over here a good ways until you hit the next set of mountains. Now, there is a high point right here that you could possibly put a repeater that would link these two together. Now, the issue you run into with that is there's a guy been trying to do that now for a good while, and so if you watch my other video about the RF quiet zone, they're not allowing it to happen. They don't want that one there. That would be a decent one. It still wouldn't cover the city very well, just because there's another section of mountains there. Might cover you on this end of the city, but this end of the city is not going to work. Like at the lakes too, parts of the lake still aren't going to work. Now, these aren't really drawn to scale or to size or anything like that, but it kind of gives you an idea. So by having this repeater, you can be in here camping, and someone can be over here picking up food for you, and now you can talk to this repeater. When this repeater talks to this repeater, now y'all are talking via the internet, where before there would be no signal. Now, all three of these repeaters are up on mountains or high bluffs. I believe every one of them is at least 2,000 foot above the county, and there's dead spots. But this is kind of what I wanted to show y'all. Once again, mountains, city. This repeater you might be able to hear in this town. There's mountains that kind of wiggle around. The red lines are your roads, kind of how it all works out. This one actually comes down and connects into here, then you would go into the city. But that's just a quick little visual of how linking repeaters has now opened up most of our county. We probably still need about 2 or 3 more to get the entire county done. So with that, there's a lot of this talk going on about the internet, and well, I'm going to explain that to you too. That's the reason I like the linked repeaters. You can call the FCC and talk to them about it. They'll talk to you. You know, they're pretty open. Just look up, FCC helpline, and you can find their phone number fairly easily. Call them up. They'll talk to you, and they'll explain to you the legality of the repeater linking. So keep that in mind. I'm not a lawyer. Don't take this as legal advice. This is all do on your own. But that is one good use we use for it. I know I hear people all the time complaining, hey, I don't want to hear people in California if I'm in Florida, and I get that. But with that being said, we have a legitimate use for it. It's all still local traffic. There's no real big issue with it. There's really no reason that it couldn't work. Now, I know you're going to say, hey, but when the internet goes down, this isn't going to work. No, you're right, it won't work anymore. Well, it could work. So I'm going to explain to you what I mean by it could work. I hear people say all the time, man, if the internet goes down or if something happens in your area, the first thing going down is the internet. Could be true. If you're on like fiber optic internet, yeah, good. A tree falling down could take your internet out. Don't ask me how I know. I used to work for the phone company, and I know just how easy it is to take down the internet. So that being said, the hub for that internet service was still there. You just lost your connection for it. So let's say you have Starlink internet, or you have Dish Network or DirecTV internet. I think they still offer internet. Those are all satellite-based internets. So unless your hub goes down, where all the internet comes back to and where it's all transmitted out of, unless that hub goes down, you're still going to have internet. So let's say you're down in Florida, a hurricane comes through and it rips up everything, tears down trees, power lines, everything. It's bad. But you were proactive. You have a solar panel on your repeater set up, so it works. You have wireless internet, which is all satellite based, so now your internet works. Because the storm hit in Florida. It did not hit in, I don't even know where Starlink's internet is. California maybe? Storm didn't hit there, so their internet's fine. It's still working great, no issues. So your internet would still work fine, great with no issues. That's what a lot of these people don't talk about. They don't think about it when they say, hey, the internet's going to go down. It's probably not. Odds are, if you set it up correctly, it's probably not going to go down. You're probably going to have it up for a while. I know, what if there was an attack on the country? The whole internet went down. Well, it did. Now your comms aren't going to work but in that little bubble, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. But I feel like you're going to have a lot more going on other than worrying about your comms. So That being said, guys, I hope you liked the video. If you did, go ahead, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. And like always, take someone outdoors.